Hello everyone and welcome to Newegg TV. My name is Paul. Today I'm going to be doing an overview on this 32-inch 2560 by 1440 VA panel monitor, that's vertical alignment, from Acer, part of the B6 series. This is the B326HUL. Let's start off with a quick look at the accessories. So for documentation, you get a quick start guide that will help you get the monitor set up. You also get a limited warranty agreement from Acer, and this does come with a 3-year parts and labor warranty if purchased in the United States. You also have, of course, your power cable, so standard AC power cable like you would get with a normal computer, which means easily replaceable. And then we have all 3 different connection types available for the video inputs that are accepted by this monitor. So first off is dual link DVI. Now bear in mind, dual link is not the same as single link, and since this is a higher resolution 2560 by 1440 monitor, do not try to swap this out with a single link cable. You notice all of the little pins in there are accounted for, so excellent that Acer has included that. Also for higher resolution support, you have DisplayPort, and this is going to be another way that you will pretty much for sure be able to get your full 2560 by 1440 resolution. So DisplayPort cable included. This is DisplayPort 1.2 compatible. And then they've also included an HDMI cable. Now HDMI can do 2560 by 1440, but this might depend on your input source. So double check with your computer or whatever other device you might be connecting to this to make sure it can do that resolution via HDMI. If not, you might want to go with the dual link DVI or the DisplayPort cable. They have included an audio cable as well, standard 8-inch stereo audio cable, since this monitor does have 2 integrated 2-watt speakers. And then finally, it also has an integrated 4-port USB 3.0 hub. So here's your USB 3.0 A to B cable, so you can connect that up to your computer and get that USB 3.0 hub working. The B326HUL is a 32-inch monitor, 32 inches measured corner to corner, and again the resolution is horizontally 2560 by vertically 1440. That's a 16:9 aspect ratio, which means it will reproduce content such as 1080p, like Blu-rays and that sort of thing, very well. That means it will scale in a linear fashion. The panel itself is VA, that's vertical alignment. It takes some of the good elements of IPS panels and TN panels, combines them both to give you a healthy combination of the two. That means you get a viewing angle of 178 degrees. It also means you get color reproduction of 1.07 billion colors. The actual color depth of this monitor is 8-bit plus high FRC. FRC is frame rate control, so by turning on some pixels off and on near other pixels, it can reproduce additional colors, giving you that 1.07 billion. It also has a contrast ratio of 3,000 to 1, brightness of 300 candelas per square meter, and a response time of 6 milliseconds gray to gray. You will note that this monitor has a very wide, sturdy, and stable stand. That's also very easy to install. It just has a single central screw that you can tighten with a flathead screwdriver or by hand. Now the stand also has some excellent ergonomic adjustments. It does have height, tilt, and swivel. So the height adjustment is quite simple. You can just lift or push down to go up or down 150 millimeters. So whether you want it very low to the ground or right in the middle, or very tall, you can go with any of those options. You also have a swivel function, and although I do have this on a Lazy Susan, I will show you guys that you can do plus or minus 60 degrees swivel in either direction with just the stand by itself. And then flipping to the side, you can see this also has tilt function, so you can do minus 5 degrees tilt in that direction, or you can do plus 25 degrees tilt in that direction. Around on the back, you have an Acer logo on the top right, some horizontal grooves on the top and bottom. You also have ventilation here along the top, so that will help the internals stay nice and cool. And then on the right side, looking at it right now, but on the left side, if you're looking at the front of the monitor, you also have your USB 3.0 hub. So you get a couple ports facing to the side right here. Note that the top one here is always going to be powered even when the monitor is standby, so you can use that to charge devices. A couple more USB 3.0 ports down here at the bottom. To the right of that, you have a Kensington lock. To the left of that, you have your HDMI inputs, and you get 2 of those. To the left of those is your DVI-D input, that's digital only, and that is dual link DVI once again. To the left of that is your DisplayPort. To the left of that is your audio input jack, and then all the way on the left side you have your power input as well as a physical power switch. And I always like to have a physical switch on monitors like this so you can actually turn it all the way off when you want to. And you might also note that the stand is connected to the monitor with a standard 100mm VESA mount, and that means that you can easily remove that if you wanted to go with a wall mount, for example, or even with a different stand. Here's a look at the monitor powered on, and as you can see, this is actually a 1080 image right here, the Newegg TV logo with the black outline. So that's showing you the difference here in resolution and screen space that you get between a standard 1920 by 1080 resolution and 2560 by 1440 with the full resolution here at 32 inches. Another cool little thing that we found about this monitor, actually in the stand down here, there's a little paperclip logo, and I was like, what is that? And it turns out it's a magnet. So you got a little paperclip holder that you can magnetize things to or hold them there. Just a little added convenience. Let's finish here with a look at the buttons and the on-screen display. So first off, in the lower right here, you have a power button as well as a blue indicator light next to that. So that will turn the monitor on or off, provided, of course, the master switch is turned on. Push the button to the left of that, or actually any of those buttons, and it'll pull up an on-screen display right there. So you can actively choose each of those. So the first one is input select, which is going to be a very common one. Let me just bounce back to DisplayPort here really quick, which is what we're using. Apart from that, you also have easy access to volume, for example, and then left and right here will adjust that. Going back here, we also have a more advanced functions, so you can see picture adjustment, Acer e-color management, which are some built-in color profiles. You can also adjust the brightness and contrast here, color temperature, and then this also has 6-axis color adjustment. So just to show you guys that really quick, you can individually adjust the red, green, blue, yellow, magenta, and cyan. Let me go back to the previous menu, and we can jump down to on-screen display. You can set the timeout for how long the on-screen display lasts on the screen. Also some more advanced functions here, such as wide mode, adjusting the input, changing the language, determining whether or not the USB charge function is off even when the power is off or on standby. You can also change between DisplayPort mode 1.1 and 1.2 for some backwards compatibility. Going back to the lowest function here on the menu, we have information. So here you can see the actual display resolution, 2560 by 1440, as well as the refresh rate and which input you're currently using. And finally, you have access to some built-in functions such as switching between graphics and movie mode. You can also go into eco mode. This is Energy Star compliant, of course. And with Energy Star compliance, you actually have a power usage typical of 45 watts. And when in off or standby mode, it will use 0.49 watts. And that is going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Once again, this has been the Acer B326HUL 32-inch 2560 by 1440 monitor. I'm Paul with Newegg TV. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and leave me a comment down in the comment area and let me know whether you'd rather use this monitor for games or productivity. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.